Hey everyone, this is Casual Fanatic.
Film reviews without the shoes.
I'm Luca, your casual viewer.
And I'm Cayman, your fanatic. How's it going, Luca?
It's going. Another day in paradise. You know how it is. It's starting to turn into winter. The leaves are falling. The trees, are less beautiful.
Yeah.
Since fall is gone. Yes. But yeah.
It's cold.
It is cold. Yeah. I think since we recorded our last podcast, I think it snowed like twice here.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I haven't had snow yet, but it's been like heavy frost every morning. It's only barely 33 degrees right now. This morning it was like 21.
Oh, wow. So it warmed up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think currently, would you say 32? Yeah, we have 34.
Yeah.
Our low is 20. But yeah, it's getting to that time. It's getting to that, that temp. What about you? What you been up to?
Trying to stay warm mostly. Because, our house is not very insulated. So
true.
I have to keep the heaters running all the time now. And because our wiring is like 30 years old, we can't have too many heaters running at once. Otherwise, it'll flip the breakers. So
man, that is crazy.
Kind of stuck being cold.
Yeah. Could you get some like high efficiency heaters that don't like draw a lot of energy? I don't know.
In the living room, we installed a brand new outlet that has a higher whatever you need. I want to say voltage, but I know nothing about electricity. So but yeah, we have one plug in the living room that can handle a higher load, but the rest of them not so much.
Damn. Well, I guess you'll hang out in the living room a lot.
Well, that's the other problem, though, is even though the nice plug is out there, the living room is such a large area that even with a heater running all the time, it never really gets warm in there.
Damn.
You just got to kind of hope that throughout the day, the sun coming through the window helps heat things up.
True. Yeah, that kind of is a pain if things aren't insulated well and then you live in a place that, gets a lot of snow.
Yeah.
That is tough. Yeah.
I don't mind because Eleni keeps joking. She was like, I don't know how we would ever live in Colorado. It's so cold here and it's colder there. But I'm like, yeah, but if we moved, we would move into a better place.
Right.
It's only cold here because our house sucks.
Yeah. House insulation does so much. I remember back in Texas, right, when we had that snowpocalypse and like obviously none of the apartments there are ready for that much of a cold coming through. Man, everything just leaked cold air and like the windows weren't insulated. The doors weren't insulated. Like the walls were just dog shit.
Yeah.
That's everywhere I went. So, but yeah, here, I feel like they do a really good job of insulating walls and windows and like doors, which is like the good part for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Besides the cold coming in and the fall leaving and winter coming through.
We got Thanksgiving coming up though.
Yeah. Thanksgiving's coming up and you're coming down or up.
I am.
Or up.
Yeah. Or sideways.
Yeah. That'll be a ton of fun. What is that next week, right?
I don't know. What's the date?
13th.
And we are going. Yeah, that's next week.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be the 23rd. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Awesome. Not much of a planner though. We'll see. We'll see if I look into things.
We'll figure stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, but that'll be super exciting. So I'm sure we can, do a podcast here all together and stuff like that. So
for sure.
We'll see how that goes. Hell yeah. But besides all these fun things, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about the 2022, that's this year, movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Whoa.
Yeah, it came out in May, actually. So, what is that? Like 7-8 months ago?
Wow, yeah. We're almost caught up, big time.
Yeah. It says here, it is directed by Sam Raimi, written by Michael Waldron, and stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Xochitl Gomez.
All right. Don't know any of those names except for Cumberbatch. I know his name.
Elizabeth Olsen is Wanda, and Xochitl Gomez is America Chavez.
Ah, okay. America Chavez,
Yes.
where is she from? Where did she come from?
Like in the movie?
Yeah, like she's brand new, right?
Yeah, this is her first movie appearance.
Okay. I was just like, I've never seen this chick before.
Yeah, that's
Just making
on
sure.
purpose.
Okay, nice.
Budget wise, this movie had an estimated budget of about $200 million, and worldwide box office, it made a little over 955 million.
Okay,
So
that's solid.
Just creeping up on $1 billion there, but didn't quite make it.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange, he's becoming a lot more popular, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in like 5 movies now. He has had now 2 of his own movies. He was in Infinity War and Endgame, and he was in the Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Yeah, so that's 5 movies at least. He might have briefly showed up, and I guess he made a small appearance in one of the Thor movies. He's popped in and out here and there.
Yeah. He's a good actor. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
He is a good actor.
But what did you think about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
It's a tough question because I enjoyed watching it, but then at the same time, I don't know, it didn't leave like a huge lasting impression on me, but I didn't dislike the movie. So it was was above average, but it didn't take me for like, I would love to watch this again kind of movie. It was like a one watch.
I gotcha.
And then that's it for me kind of thing. What about you?
For me, I think it's a fun movie. This is one that I wouldn't mind watching again, but it's one of those that you really can't think too hard about it because there's a lot of stuff in this movie, and we'll get into it later when we do our proper review, but a lot of stuff just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But if you ignore that, then it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why I wouldn't want to watch it again, because it was one of those where it's just like, you watch it, like you said, don't think too hard, just enjoy whatever's happening when it's happening and move on. I feel like if I'd watch it again, I'd get way too many questions of why something happens, or, just the timeline of the movie also was a little bit weird in my head. But we'll get into all that soon.
But before we do that, let's step into the boxing ring.
Let's do it.
I think I will go first this time. I'll say Doctor Strange and Wong. Well, no, I guess Wong doesn't really do a whole lot except in the beginning. Doctor Strange teams up with a young woman who can travel the multiverse in order to stop a threat that I was going to say that threatens, but then I'm saying a threat that threatens. There's got to be a synonym there. Fuck it. They're trying to stop a threat that threatens everyone in existence. That's what I got.
Okay. Let's see. I might give more away than you will. So let's see here. How do I put this?
Quick. Spoiler warning.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna try not to. Just one name that I kind of think I want to add to it.
Okay.
Doctor Strange finds himself in a position to help a young woman named America Chavez to flee from a frenemy. I'm just gonna say that's the name. To flee from a frenemy.
If this description says frenemy, you get like 5,000 points.
Frenemy, whose witch-like powers turn the multiverse into madness.
Interesting.
All right, that was it. Yeah, I didn't want to say her name. Well, I did want to say her name, but I was like, well, maybe that's too much.
All right, this says Doctor Strange, with the help of mystical allies both old and new, traverses the mind-bending and dangerous alternate realities of the multiverse to confront a mysterious new adversary.
Huh.
That's a tough one.
Well, who is he talking about? Strange new adversary? Is that America?
No, adversary is
Wanda.
Is a bad guy.
An enemy, right?
It's Wanda.
An enemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it says traverses, and I said travels. So
we both said multiverse, I believe. We both said Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Neither of us said ally or adversary.
No.
Neither of us said dangerous. I think you focused more on the villain, and I focused more on the multiverse, and this is focusing on both. So I'd say it's pretty much a tie.
All right. That was a tough one because they didn't really give anything away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good for them, you know. But yeah, I feel like we should have said something about the allies or like name them off name by name. Awesome. Well, I guess we can do that at tie.
Okay.
Or-
Here I have an idea. I won't look it up now, but how about we'll do this? Try and guess how many different universes they went to, and then whoever gets closer will win this one.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me count real quick. I'm gonna say 13.
Okay. I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna say like 20.
Damn.
Because when they like did that flashy jump where they were like falling through all the different universes, I feel like there was more there. All right, let's see. Hold on. 22.
Oh wow.
There's even a Screen Rant article that says all 22 universes in Doctor Strange 2.
Well, would you say 20?
I said 20.
Hell yeah, you win. There we go. Damn, 20. I didn't realize it was that many. Did they?
Okay, so this says there's the main universe. They said around 16 during the travel sequence. I don't know why they couldn't get an actual count on that. This says America's home universe, but we never really traveled there. She just saw it on that screen, so I'm not going to count that one. There's the Illuminati universe. There's the Incursion universe.
Oh, I forgot about those. Damn.
So, they're also counting the Between space. I'm not going to count that either, because that's not a universe. That they specifically said in the movie that's between universes.
Yeah.
And it says implied Defender Strange universe. Okay, so that's 3 that we never actually went to in the movie. So actually 19, but 20 is still closer.
That's pretty close. Yeah. I'm mad they said around 16. Like, can't you just count 1, 2, 3 of like them falling through the universes?
Well, I remember like because it starts off all slow motion and then at the end it like speeds up, so it may be like,
oh shit, she wait, did she fall through universes at the very beginning too? I think she may have, right?
I don't think so.
Because there's no way in that one scene where her and Strange were like falling through that shit. They went through 16. There's no way.
I think they could have.
With like the paint and then like the strips and maybe, I don't know. Okay. Wow, that would have been a lot though.
They went by pretty fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was the tiebreaker. You got it.
Alrighty.
All right. Well,
I think that means it's time for a break.
Let's do it.
Break over.
And let's hit this up with the spoiler section since we're about to get into it.
Do it.
This is the spoiler section. If you don't want the movie to be spoiled, don't listen.
All right. Now everyone knows it is
All right.
spoilery from now on.
In case you, obviously, we slightly mentioned it earlier, but I guess the biggest spoiler here is that Wanda Maximoff is the bad guy.
She is the Scarlet Witch. I guess turns into, I'm not quite sure. Is she the Scarlet Witch from the get-go or?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
There's like a whole journey of self-discovery that happens during the WandaVision series.
Yeah. See, that's what I missed out on here. Like I did not, I was not in any of those.
Yeah, because what was the last thing that she was in movie-wise?
Dude,
I think it was Endgame.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, so the WandaVision series is, I think I mentioned this last time, but basically just her dealing with the loss of Vision, and she like creates a like make-believe world to deal with her grief, and then at the end she realizes that it's like okay to let him go, but then I don't know, some weird stuff happens, and I mean I think they did a pretty good job of like letting everyone know the important information for this movie, because like there's a whole separate thing in WandaVision with her kids, and then in this movie, like even if you haven't seen that, they still are like, oh well, she dreams about having kids and then finds out that her kids are real in a different universe, and so like you kind of get the context without having to see all of the kid stuff in the show.
When did she find out exactly that dreaming was looking into different universes? I wonder like when that clicked in, because she was very upset about that at one point.
It
That they
probably.
then
Well, she said
found out.
that Vision had some theories about the multiverse.
Right.
So maybe that was one of them. And also, she's been reading the Darkhold, so there could be some information in there about it as well.
True.
Also, we forgot to do our Marvel Minute, so I'll just throw that in real quick. But there was only one series between Spider-Man and this, and that is the Moon Knight series, which is not perfect, but it's some good fun. I really liked Moon Knight, actually.
I haven't seen it. What happens in that one?
There is a man with a dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
And one of his identities is a superhero.
Ah.
That's all I'll say.
Interesting.
Spoiling it. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
But it's pretty cool.
So that was the only thing in between the two.
There was no other
movie.
No other movies in between.
Okay.
And that was the only show in between. So that's it.
Okay. So past this movie, in the future, what's the next one? Is it the new Black Panther that just came out? Or no, there's that Thor one.
Yeah, the one that you just recently watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that is the new
the new Black Panther.
Gotcha.
Which Elaine and I just went and saw last night, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Worth or not worth?
I'd say worth. I definitely like the first one better.
Gotcha.
It also it's hard because we don't have Chadwick Boseman anymore. But
yeah, how do they get around that? I haven't seen it, so I'm curious. But I guess I'll have to wait.
There's some deep moments.
Oh man,
it's a very emotion heavy movie. It's not like there's really not a whole lot of comedy in the second Black Panther.
Oh boy, my a good friend of mine was the vocal artist for most of the campaign, with like the movie trailers and like rated R and all that stuff.
Cool.
Pretty cool. But all right, so
I didn't watch any trailers for Black Panther 2 actually.
I don't ever watch trailers, so
it's hard for me sometimes because like you go into a movie and then they show trailers for other movies.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So like when we went to see Black Panther, I saw the trailer for the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp movie.
Oh, no
which
way.
I had been avoiding up until that point.
Oh no.
Seen it now.
Well,
but I mean the other option is like sit there and plug my ears and close my eyes like a child. And
I mean, low key,
it's like, oh, whatever.
Low key, that's a way to do it. Just like get on your phone and like, plug your ears and whatever. I don't know. I feel like trailers I think they ruin movies for me because they give me like a wrong preconceived notion of what is going to happen, or they like show sometimes very snippets of like important scenes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That just ruin it for me.
Yeah. Sometimes trailers can give away too much.
Yeah.
But there's also like, especially with Marvel movies, they have put a lot of effort into like changing the trailer sometimes to like purposely not give stuff away. Like in the Infinity War trailer, in a lot of the shots with Thanos in the trailer, they like edit it so that he only has like 1 or 2 stones, and then in the actual scene in the movie he has like 4. But they're like, in the trailer they don't want you to know that he's gonna get all the stones, so they're like, we'll just show him with like a couple of them.
Right.
Or like there's a whole scene in the trailer that shows the fight in Wakanda, and it has Hulk in the scene, even though in the actual movie Hulk isn't in that scene.
Oh, so they kind of do play tricks then.
Yeah.
See that? I mean, that's better. That means you can't take it for 100%. Can't take it for
you like
granted.
don't really know what's for real.
Right. I mean that's a good way to do it.
Here's a vibe.
Right. Here's a vibe. This guy may or may not be in the movie. We don't know yet. All right. Well, I guess we can get into the multiverse of madness since we've talked about, previous movies and futuristic ones.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did you think about Doctor Strange's look in this movie with his like different cape, and he just looked different?
Well, I mean, are you talking about like his different, like his alternate versions? So I feel like main Doctor Strange looked pretty much the same.
Did he though? I don't know. I when I saw him first, the first thing I noted, I was like, why does he look so different? And I don't know what it was, but I thought he did look different. No?
I didn't notice anything.
Well, let me look it up real quick and see if I see any changes.
Like a screenshot from this movie and a screenshot from a previous movie.
Yeah, maybe.
compare them side by side.
Oh, maybe his new outfit, like the bottom layer, was just so much more blue. It was a bright blue versus like a dark, kind of like a muted blue from the first Doctor Strange movie to this one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then also in this one, the cape that he has, the collar is flailed upwards versus the old Doctor Strange movie, the first one. The cape, the collar is like folded. They're just like subtle things, I guess, that I noticed that, I don't know.
Interesting.
Just made it seem weird. And also like that necklace thingy with the stone in it, or the time stone.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what he has in there, but it was hanging like a lot higher than it was in the old one. Like the old one, it was hanging like over his sternum, or like a little bit lower. And then this one, it's hanging upper chest.
Yeah, I don't really know what because the necklace is called the Eye of Agamotto.
Mm-hmm.
And before it was holding the time stone. But now that the time stone's gone, I'm not really sure what the eye does.
Right.
But he does use it a couple times in this movie.
Right. That's what I was wondering too. I didn't think he had the stone, one, because he's also not the, what's the name of?
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme, yeah. But, well, that's like one of the things I noted. I was like, he just looks different. I don't know what it is, but I guess now we just went over it.
He's not allowed to wear different clothing. How dare he?
No, I liked his old outfit better.
One thing I did like about this movie, I think it really calls into question Doctor Strange's like authority, I guess. Like with all of the stuff, like in the beginning when he tries to steal America's power, and he's like the whatever the grand calculus of the multiverse, he's like your sacrifice means more than your life or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was the exact same thing that he said in the Spider-Man movie about all the bad guys. And that was like his reasoning behind sending them back and not caring if they die or not.
Okay.
And then there's the whole thing where like at the wedding, and the guy is the guy is like upset. He's like, hey, I lost my dog and my brother and my whole life got ruined. And he's like, are you sure that there was no other way? Because obviously you remember in Infinity War, he was like, oh yeah, I looked through 14 million different like futures, and there was only one way that we succeed.
Right.
And so it's like, we're kind of just trusting him, though. There's no real way to know that the events that happened are the only way that it could have gone.
Right. I mean, he could have just kept looking through. I mean, there's infinite. He just went through 14 million or whatever the count was.
Right. And especially because the same thing with like, even several times throughout this movie, there will be like something happens and he's like, this is the only way. And then people are like, but is it? And then they end up finding another way. So it's like,
interesting.
Doctor Strange, you kind of realize that his ego kind of gets the better of him sometimes, and he's not as all-knowing as he pretends to be.
Yeah. I mean, we also saw that when America Chavez came, and she was like, yeah, you told me the only way was to take my powers.
Yeah.
And like even the Sorcerer Supreme at the very end said that. And then Doctor Strange was like, no, I'm just going to tell her she's going to do great and she'll do it. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a good
Which
point.
That was a not so nice thing for me. I hated that the whole solution in the end was like, believe in yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. That's one thing that I wrote down. That's why I just brought it up.
It was cheesy as fuck.
Yeah. Like this movie had no teary moments for me that I remember. No.
Which I'm okay with that. I don't need there to be a teary moment and everything, but it just like,
well, no, but they tried to make that a teary moment where it was like, believe in yourself, you can do it.
Yeah, he was like, every time we've traveled, you've brought us exactly where we needed to be. And I was like, but did she though? Did she?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Let's see here. It was interesting that there were no, well, granted it was a Doctor Strange movie, but I think it's funny that like in a ton of other Avenger movies, Doctor Strange makes appearances. And then in this one, there was, I mean, I guess there were Avengers appearances, but not like our Avenger appearances. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, the Illuminati showed up.
Yeah, which was something else.
How did you feel about them?
I don't know. I think it was a good addition to the movie, but I think that they could have played it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that they having like with all that knowledge that they had of like all these multiverses and research being done and whatever, for them to still like put Doctor Strange in that bucket of like all Doctor Stranges are bad and cause the most chaos in the
They're very
universe.
judgmental.
Yeah, very judgmental for being people that do research and like know of all these different universes.
Which is like kind of the same flaw as Doctor Strange. Like, just because you have experience with your situation and like the things that have happened in your life doesn't mean that you know exactly what the lives of all of these other people's are like.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and maybe that's like a category that all of the superheroes, all of the, Avengers kind of fall into, is that they'll just get too cocky. Quite simply put.
I really liked the inclusion of Professor X, because I think he was one of the best parts of the original X-Men movies. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Illuminati, were just kind of meh. I feel like Black Bolt didn't really do anything. I did like, because a while ago there was like a not very successful show called The Inhumans, and Black Bolt was part of that show, even though no one watched it. But they did a really good job of like showing his power. I really liked the scene where obviously it's like the weird flashback or whatever, and when they kill Doctor Strange and he just says I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like in case it wasn't clear, like his power is that his voice is so strong that it will just like destroy anything in front of it.
Right. And that ties into the scene where they were like, "Oh, he can kill you with saying just one word," and then she was like, "With what mouth?" And then
okay, so hold on.
Is that too far? You were like, wait.
We got to work up to that. Okay, so Black Bolt, cool power. He didn't really do that much.
No, he just killed himself.
Frickin' Captain Carter is a little more interesting, but also it's like she has the exact same stuff as Captain America, so she's not really like, I don't know. They didn't give her enough character building for her to be like her own character, I felt like.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
And then the Captain Marvel that they have is obviously also a different Captain Marvel than the one that we have. And I mean, I guess it's not like I wanted them to spend 30 more minutes like fleshing out these characters, because ultimately they were just kind of like not even a cameo. They were just in there for what, like 10 minutes total and then gone. So it's not like they were super important, but I just like, I don't know. I felt like my biggest upset is that I feel like they just went out like bitches. Like they made it seem like, ooh, here's this powerful super team, and then they're like so confident and they're like, we can handle Wanda if she comes, and then she literally kills all of them in like 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm like, really? They didn't even put up any fight?
Yeah, they made it seem like they've already like fought Wanda, and they're like, yeah, we're not really worried about her at all. Like, you're the big issue. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But then she came around and, like you said, like just slapped him around.
Especially since like when Strange in America first show up, Mordo spends like 10 minutes talking about how dangerous Wanda is, and it's like, oh, well, if she has the Darkhold, then she can dreamwalk, and dreamwalking can do so much damage,
like kill universes.
And then after talking about how dangerous she is, then he's like, nah, but you're the real threat. And I'm like, whoa.
Back it up, buddy. Back it up. Doctor Strange does not have that type of power of evil. I mean, he's very powerful.
It was irritating just in general that all of them just got offed like they weren't even special. But then the most irritating one was Black Bolt, because it was like such a forced setup line where Reed Richards is like, calm down, Black Bolt here could kill you with one whisper from his mouth. And I'm like, nobody talks like that. That's not a real sentence that a person would ever say.
True. Yeah. Why would you tell her your power?
One whisper from his mouth. Like, where the fuck else do whispers come from? He's gonna whisper out of his butt.
He makes it
like the only reason he said mouth is so that Wanda could say what mouth.
Yeah. And then he screamed and he killed himself. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about like that screaming part, because technically while he's talking, the reverberations are coming from his throat, going up and around out of his mouth. So I would think that the inside of his body is strong enough to hold his own sound waves.
Also, I mean, that too, but also, even if his mouth was covered, it's still connected
goes
through the nasal cavity. So he would just
Mm.
like speak through his nose.
True. I mean, honestly, it may be like a little bit weaker.
Yeah, it would just be like humming.
Yeah. Yeah. That whole scene, I noted that too. I was like, I mean, interesting, but granted, like for them to just like for him to talk and then blow up his own brain, it was just kind of a boring way for him to die. I think a lot of them died in like a very boring way.
It was super surprising the first time though, because I definitely expected it to be like this big fight scene, and then it's just like, oh, literally two of them immediately killed. Black Bolt blows up his own brain, and then Wanda turns Mr. Fantastic into string beans.
Yeah. I don't know how I felt about that either, but that's okay. Just like very anticlimactic, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because like on our Earth, the Avengers are like very strong and all that. And here they were just like, well, you suck and you're the best ones in the Illuminati. What did you think about Wanda being kind of a horror theme throughout the whole movie? Like there were quite a few jump scares of like,
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to have like that different sort of style.
Okay.
And her being treated as sort of like this horror monster. And like obviously they like got around some stuff, like when she's tearing up the Illuminati, a lot of their like minions are robots. So when she comes in and she's like covered with blood, but it's not really blood, it's like oil from the robots. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was good. That was good.
Or when Professor X like goes inside of her mind and then he's like trying to save other Wanda, and then there's that like red smoke and she just like comes out and snaps his neck.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was very cool. And then the other scene was when they were underneath that big tunnel, the water tunnel. And then like they were like, where is she? And I don't exactly know where she came from, maybe like the wall, but like she came out, she's like, boo. I thought that was like another good little scare moment.
Yeah, it was fun the way that they played around with her like that. And okay, so the other thing is even when she attacks Kamar-Taj, and then so got a couple things here. First of all, I thought it was kind of dumb that Doctor Strange was like, the full might of Kamar-Taj stands against you. And then once she gets through the shield, it's like all they have is a couple big cannons and everyone's shooting arrows. I'm like, really? Y'all are a bunch of fucking wizards and this is your full might is arrows and cannons? Is all you got? I feel like they could have put up more of a fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, all they had was like a big shield, and then she got into one guy's mind and he was like, run, and he like just bumped into everyone. And of course, like the part right in front of her opened up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they could have done that differently too. Like the shield portion of it, because instead of like making an opening in the middle where she can like shoot her laser beam through or whatever, like make her, punch it and then like the shield like shatters and all that stuff versus being like, oh no, the shield is down. There's a big hole. That was a little.
Or like if once she got through everyone, Doctor Strange just like put her in the mirror dimension. I'm like, you should have done that while she was outside.
I agree.
The compound.
Do that in the get-go.
Yeah.
But then she somehow beat the mirror dimension by using the mirrors.
Yeah, she was just like, oh, reflections. What if I just like poke my little fingy through here?
Yeah, I did not understand any of that.
And then I was like, wait a second, because they showed like literally 5 times her like sucking people through a water puddle. I'm like, why the fuck is Kamar-Taj so wet? Why are there so many damn puddles? They were like, cover up all the reflections, and then they were just like throwing blankets on water.
Fucking thing was not watertight.
Really?
They forgot the water flashing, the air water barrier. Like, I don't know. Hopefully they'll build it better the second time. It should not be
that wet in there. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. And then like at one point, America Chavez, she was like, she saw a puddle and she like looked down in it, and then like her head of Wanda came. She was like, she's like, ah, like, oh come on. I did think it was cool though how she came through that, like the bong, the giant, I don't know what you call it.
A gong.
Gong? Is it gong?
Not a bong.
Oh, gong. That was close. The gong. I did think it was cool how she came through that and like was rearranging her body. Like she literally came through like a, I don't know, like a zombie almost. I don't know what you would compare it to.
Yeah, it was like she like for a second was doing like the weird like backwards crab walk sort of thing, like some sort of demon.
Right. What did you think about the lack, in my opinion, the lack of comedy in this movie?
I don't know. I think it had,
It had like a few jokes, like here and there.
yeah, I think it had enough. I don't think it needed to be super funny, but there was like, he was like making jokes at the Illuminati, and then there was the whole thing with like the pizza Poppa, and he like makes him punch himself.
Yeah, yeah.
There were like funny moments here.
And that was one of the ad scenes too, the extra scenes.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one? Sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of lame, but funny. But I mean, like, honestly, the only joke that I thought was funny throughout the whole movie that was like notable was where they were telling Chavez about a Spider-Man. She was like, "Wait, does he look like a spider?" He's like, "No, he's just like a man." And then she was like, "Does he shoot webs out of his butt?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like I don't know actually."
He's like, I hope not.
I mean,
but that brings up another thing is I'm going to go back to our Spider-Man conversation, but it confuses me so much how, because Doctor Strange was like, well, he was like, a little while back, there was a multiversal incident with Spider-Man. And I'm like, how much of that does he remember? Does he remember that he did the spell? Does he
Oh.
remember why he did the spell to make people forget Peter Parker? And if he remembers the spell, then how does he not remember Peter Parker? Like, I don't understand how he can do a forget me spell and then not remember it. But then he also remembers that it happened. I don't know.
It's true because remember when he was casting that spell and he was talking to the other time dude and he was like, I mean, do you remember this incident? And he was like, what? No. He was like, well, there you go.
Right.
But like he obviously remembered it.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Strange does remember Spider-Man?
I don't know, because in the Spider-Man movie, he specifically told Peter, he was like, I won't remember you either.
I mean, do you think he did that just so that Peter doesn't come annoy him?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, but that's a big old gap right there. See, now we're thinking too much. We're thinking too much.
That's what I'm saying. But like, that was my entire experience. They would say like one line, and I'm like, but how does this affect the 5 other movies connected to this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say, I feel like I've been saying a lot of negative stuff. I will say I do really enjoy, because this is a thing that I've complained about in the past, is that we saw a lot of different magic
Mhm.
in this movie besides just like orange sparky shit. Like when they were when the big like googly eyed tentacle monster shows up, there's like there's a part where he like summons another monster to like eat a car so that it doesn't land on a person.
Right.
And then he's
Cuts
got
off its
like
head.
yeah, and then he's got like the big purpley hands that shove the pole into the eyeball.
Right.
At one point he has like some weird green fire that he uses. And then later when he's fighting Wanda, he does like those giant snakes come out of his hand.
Yeah.
And then there's the music fight towards like later in the movie that was like super, super cool. I loved that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the cooler fights I feel like in the movie where they then used like that one note to just blow everything up.
Yeah. But I really appreciated that there was like, he was doing different stuff with magic rather than just like some of the stuff Wong was doing, where his like 90% of his magic was a knife on a rope.
I mean, that wasn't even, I guess that was magic, but I feel like that's
because it was a magic rope.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only trick that he has up his sleeve. I feel like Doctor Strange is like the crazy creative one that'll like do, other stuff to win battles.
And I think Wong is just more of a traditionalist, and so a lot of his magic is like, I'm just going to summon a weapon and then use that weapon.
Yeah, versus, Doctor Strange will, come back from the dead, take his old dead body with weird ghost spirits in it, and then he was like, I'm not even gonna ask.
Yeah.
When he saw Strange.
I did like the variety that we got in this movie, so that was a good thing for me.
That's true. I did like all the creativity they put into Strange and his methods of trying to win over these, battles he was in.
Yeah.
What did you think about America Chavez?
I thought I thought Sochi did a really good job acting wise and character wise. I thought she was written very well. I think I don't know, she just seemed like a normal kid, which obviously is like helps the audience connect to her, but also is a little weird because she's like definitely not a normal kid. And I don't know, I feel like I guess she didn't really convey loneliness that much, which was a little strange, but it didn't bother me while I was watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't really convey much of anything, in my opinion, like sad wise. Like,
Yeah, she like kept talking about being sad, but she never seemed like she was actually
yeah,
sad.
she was never like a Spider-Man sad. Like that.
Well,
like,
I don't think anyone can be
true,
Spider-Man
true.
sad.
Dude, like the scene where it showed like her losing her mother's, and
Which was also cool. I think like obviously people have danced around it in the past, especially with Disney movies, but in this one they were just like straight up like, nah, she got two moms.
she got two moms. Hell yeah. Yeah. And to back it up a little more, like I think that universe they landed in was one of the most interesting universes that I've seen so far in
Which one?
honestly most of the movies where they were walking and everyone was just wearing black and white, and then they like stepped on the ring and it was like, you don't need to remember your memories, we do that for you, kind of thing. And
Do you think that universe was interesting?
yeah, I think, well, their technology, at least, I think
Okay.
they can do a lot with that because it was so much in the foreground of like what we have and what they've shown. They haven't really shown many futuristic cities besides like Wakanda, but even that was not on this level, I don't think.
See, I honestly thought that universe was kind of boring.
Really? Well,
yeah, I feel like there was the whole
people
scene
were,
of them like
yeah.
falling through the different universes, and there's like a paint universe and a dinosaur universe and a black and white like noir universe and a super futuristic universe, and then the universe that they end up in is just like barely different from ours. It's like, oh, we walk on red lights instead of green lights. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was kind of cheesy, but I don't know. I feel like it was like subtle enough, but like realistic enough. Like I honestly would want to learn more about like why the universe is the way it is. Like everyone was just wearing black and white. The cars were there was like no color.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they had like that weird thing where you just step on it in the middle of walking to like show you memories that, you know, I guess hurt
it
you.
didn't suck me in.
No, I didn't. Oh,
no.
Unfortunate.
I felt like any of the other universes that they passed through would have been more fun.
I mean, granted, I agree with you on that one. I do agree with you on that, but I feel like some of the technology that they showed in that universe was pretty cool.
I mean, really, the memory thing is the only technology that they showed.
Well, yeah, but
there wasn't really.
But then there was like, you know, everyone wearing, I don't know. It just interested me that like there was no color and I wanted to know more. I really did. And then they went into like the lab and they had, you know, they knew of other universes and had them numbered out. And then there was no Illuminati.
So that's another issue that I had actually.
Well, what was the issue with that?
So they said, oh, we've designated your universe as universe 616. And for a casual viewer, that like is such a meaningless number.
Yeah.
But it's so my first problem is in Spider-Man Far From Home, the bad guy, Mysterio, the one who framed him for murder. When Mysterio first shows up in that movie, he pretends to be from a different universe, even though he's not really. And he's like, yeah, everyone in my universe got destroyed, and so I had to come here. And then he did the same sort of thing where he was like, well, my universe is this number and your universe is 616. And he also said that exact same number. And I was like, but Mysterio was bullshitting that. So how did he just happen to pick the exact right number? So that's stupid. But then on top of all that, because the comic book multiverse exists as well, and the main storyline in the comic books is Universe 616. And so up until this movie, like fans had already designated, like they were just like, we're just going to treat this as part of the multiverse. Like the comic book universes exist and the film universes exist. And so our timeline in the movies is just a different universe from the comics. But now, because they're calling our film universe 616, then that makes it seem like it's supposed to be the same universe as the comics, which it's not. And so it just like, I don't know. It just like, there was no reason for it to be that number. They could have made any other number and it would have been fine.
Yeah, you way overthought that. To me, they were just like random ass universe numbers. Like, yeah, 616, cool.
But
nice.
It's just like, they were trying to be like, ooh, 616, because comic book fans know that. And I'm like, yeah, but if the people that know that aren't going to be happy about you doing that.
Yeah.
It was just a little frustrating.
I don't know. It didn't bother me at all, quite honestly.
Well, obviously you didn't know that.
Yeah. But even now knowing, I don't really care.
Oh well. What did you think about Wanda's children?
I did not think they were good actors, quite honestly. I don't know. They were just not one, like, I don't, they may have not like looked like brothers, and
Yeah.
like the acting that they made them do was to me so forced of like, but maybe it was supposed to be like that, like a little bit cringeworthy of like her missing her boys, and like her boys are like, hey mom, can we talk to you please? Yeah, can I say something? Can I say something? And then she's like, why don't you both talk? And they're like, okay, 1, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, the fucking ice
Dude,
cream song.
oh, yeah, kill me. Like, I don't know.
I think look wise they were fine. I feel like I could see them being related, but yeah, everything else about them looked they were so annoying.
Yeah.
Like every single thing about them was just so like, I hate these children and I don't know why. Like obviously you're their mother, whatever, but like I don't understand how anyone could want to be with those children.
LOL. I don't know. Like something about, like, I don't think it's the kids' fault that they're annoying, right? It's definitely the screenwriters that made them be this.
No, for
this
sure they were
much
annoying, but like, come on.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't see the fascination behind that. Nope.
Also, who's their dad?
He's dead.
They like
never came back from the milk shop.
But honestly though, because she says specifically, she's like, when Doctor Strange is like, your kids aren't real, and she's like, yeah, they exist in every other universe except for this one. And I'm like, is their dad dead also in every other universe? Like they never once mentioned it at all. Like,
where's daddy, huh?
Yeah.
Where is daddy? I mean, maybe they did that because like the kids are made up in every universe.
I mean, I guess, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't even show like a picture of like the family.
Yeah, there was no photo of him. No,
Yeah.
they weren't like, oh, I miss dad, and she's like, oh, me too. Like nothing.
Yeah. Or like at the end where America Chavez is like, fine, I'll give you what you want. And like she like brings her to like one of the universes with her kids, and like they start yelling and screaming, and then like Wanda beats up Wanda beats up the mom kind of low key, and then like she's like, I would never hurt you, and like they're like, you're gonna hurt us or whatever, and then and like that's all it takes to like defeat Wanda. I'm like, oh, okay. Boring.
I think I'm fine with her like realizing the error of her ways, and I kind of like the idea of like, she keeps talking the whole movie, she's like, oh, I'm not a monster, and then when her actual children see her and treat her like a monster, then she's like, oh shit, maybe I am a monster.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it just seemed so sudden. Like there was nothing really leading up to that made it seem like she was even almost open to changing her mind. Because even in the beginning, at Camartage, Doctor Strange even like directly asked her. He was like, okay, well, fine, let's say you do go to a universe to be with your children. What happens to the Wanda in that universe? What happens to their actual mother?
She was like, I don't fucking care.
Like, yeah.
And then here it's like the mom walks up to her, touches her face, and is like, no, they'll be safe with me. Like, oh, come on. So, I mean, that's like the way that America defeated her. It's like, just showed her one universe and then she wins.
In infinite multiverses, there's not one where the Wanda in that universe is dead, and you can just be like, oh, I'll just go be with my kids who don't have a mother.
True.
Like, come on.
They're orphan. Yeah, where are your orphan kids in these multi-universes?
Where are your orphan kids?
Jeez, man. Like, I'm sure Wanda died in like a fight or not Wanda, but I mean, is she always Wanda in then every universe, you think, technically?
Yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't be.
Yeah. Wait, so she's always...
Everyone seems to have people don't change in...
Wow, that's deep.
Like, their life may change, but everyone's the same person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see.
I also, speaking of Wanda, I think it was kind of a cop-out with it being, like, talking about how the Darkhold corrupts its users, because I don't know, I feel like it would have felt more genuine to me if it was just Wanda, like she just snapped and she's crazy and evil. But then they were like, oh well, she's been reading the Darkhold and it turns people evil. And I'm like, okay, so you just want us to feel bad for Wanda because she's not actually a bad guy.
Right. Yeah. Like almost when Professor Charles Xavier went into her brain.
Yes.
Right. I thought that he was actually in Wanda's brain.
Okay.
Like,
oh yeah,
seeing
and
the OG Wanda, and like
you.
the book is like holding her captive kind of thing. That's kind of where my mind went. But then I think I realized that the person held captive was just that human body of the Wanda.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just a little bit weird to me, I guess, but it is what it is.
I did like the scene where she possesses herself though, when she's walking into the kitchen and then all of a sudden like all of the lights start flickering and then like the little picture turns its head. I was like, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah,
it was like the food starts moving around on the plate and the teacup has like ocean waves in it. I'm like, bro, this is some wild shit.
Yeah, that was cool. But then like the kids right after were just annoying already. So
yeah, the kids kind of ruined it.
Yeah. Like, what a great scene. And then it's like, mom, like Stewie, mother, madres, mucha.
And also,
mucha.
I'm like, literally, she's been gone for what, 5 seconds, and you guys have already come up with this whole ass ice cream song.
Yeah.
Like, how did you do that so fast?
Yeah. Like, first it was ice cream. No, first it was chocolate, and then it was ice cream. What's next?
I don't know, man.
I did think the videography that they had in this movie was pretty solid. Like one of the scenes.
I thought there were some like really fun shots.
Yeah.
And like the crossfades and stuff, especially when they're talking about dream walking and it's like fading back and forth between them talking and Wanda actually doing it.
Right.
There was, I agree. There was some really cool cinematography.
Or like, one of the big parts of this movie, which is not like really that big of a part, but it played a big role, was that watch of Doctor Strange's. And like him at the very end when he was fixing it, he took like the watch face off, and then like the next camera shot you saw was like from inside the watch case with like the gears looking up at
that was
Strange.
Super cool.
I was like, that is a nice shot. That's really cool.
Or like when I forget her name, but the other wizard that was helping Wand, the other wizard that was helping Wong,
Mordo,
when she the lady in Camartage, when she stabs the book.
Oh, her. Yeah.
And it pulls Wanda out of the dream walking. And then there's like that scene where it like keeps flashing back and forth between realities. And she's like trying to hold her kids, but they're like not really there.
Yeah. And then
that was really cool.
Yeah. And they're like looking at her because she was talking, I think, in both universes at the same time.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Another, I guess this is kind of a nitpicky thing, but I feel like the portaling that America does is very
too on the
inconsistent.
Nose. Not too on the nose. The fact that
how do you mean?
The fact that it's America and then her portal is a star, dude. Get out of here. That is so fucking annoying.
That's like kind of funny.
That's one of the first things I noticed. It was like she's literally wearing what her portal is. Like, come on.
That didn't bother me so much.
That is so annoying. It's almost as annoying as the kids.
I think I think it's funny because her name is America, but they give you a little bit of context for the star, because even in the flashback with her moms, they all have like little star patches. And so like, obviously you don't get a whole backstory, but I assume that a star is like an important symbol to them. And that's why she has a star on her jacket. And so when she does the portal, it just like manifests into an important shape for her, which happens to be a star.
Yeah. But then at that point, like, why choose her name as America?
Well, in their universe, maybe America doesn't exist and it was just a coincidence.
Well, right. But in ours, the people that are watching this, America does exist, and you're going to like relate it to America because her name is America.
Yeah.
Like, imagine some kid here being born in the States and that parents are like, you're America. I'm sure that's a thing, but
honestly,
for sure is. It for sure is.
It's I feel like I obviously don't want like a bunch of kids running around named America, but I think it's kind of a cool name for her.
I don't know. It's just too much. It was too much. They could have given her some like really cool name from her, her world. But then,
But what I was gonna say is every time, or most of the time, when she opens up a portal, the portal opens up behind her. Like nearly every single time, it opens up right behind her, and she gets sucked through. But then there are 2 times once she does it, or maybe not even 2 times, maybe only once. For some reason, the first time she did it with the whole bee thing, which first of all, I get she was a child, but the fact that she panicked so much about a fucking bee
Bullshit.
that she opened up a portal.
Yeah, bullshit.
Ridiculous. But also,
And
normally the portal opens up behind her, but when she did it as a kid with the bee, for some reason it opened up behind her parents instead.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Kind of weird.
And the fact that she still hasn't found her parents, like the whole length of the movie, kind of annoyed me.
I mean, there's infinite universes. It makes sense
Yeah.
they'd be hard to find.
That's true, but didn't she like somehow find Strange? She was like, "I'll find you." It's not like she knows the number of like the specific universe. She doesn't know that, right?
Well, she knows that every universe has a Stephen Strange.
Right, but then how did she find this Stephen Strange where he was?
Probably because she was friends with the other Stephen Strange, and at some point they talked about the building or whatever. And also, she didn't find him; he found her because she was getting attacked by that monster, and he saw her.
No. Yeah, that was the beginning, but at the very end, something happened. They were like, "Oh yeah, she'll come for us. She'll find us." I forget what it was exactly.
Oh, well, because she could control her powers at that point, and she
Yeah,
knew
but-
what universe they were in.
But how did she know what universe they were in? If there's infinite
they-
of them,
Well, just because there's infinite doesn't mean you can't choose one.
I don't know how that would work. She's just like
What do you mean?
that universe. I mean, then couldn't she just choose the one that she fell into with her parents?
Well, but she didn't fall into the same universe as her parents. Her parents went through and went to a different universe, and then she went through and went, like, when she went through the first time, her and her parents went to separate places.
Yeah, that was a little lame to me too. Why'd they
Yeah.
go to separate ones? Like, how did that happen?
I don't know. That also doesn't make sense because usually when people go through a portal together, they end up in the same
In the
place.
same spot, yeah. Anyway,
But
well, I guess that
yeah.
that also happened with like Thor and Loki that one time, but they like fell out of the tube, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah, but also that's not really a portal.
portal,
They were
yeah.
like physically being transported.
Right.
Yeah, I also thought obviously like Wanda was torturing people, but since I had just been talking about the Darkhold getting destroyed, after it gets destroyed and Wanda's like, "You're the Sorcerer Supreme, tell me what you know," and then he's like, "Okay, the Darkhold was a copy and there's a big fortress
so
somewhere that has all the
dumb.
spells." I'm like, bro, just lie. Just be like, "Sorry, that was it, bitch. The book's
So
gone."
dumb, dude. And like those 3 people, they're gonna die anyway. Now you're just gonna put the whole
Right.
universe at stake because your little 3 friends. Unbelievable.
I would just be like, I know I'm the Sorcerer Supreme, so I'm telling you completely, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah,
That's what he should have said.
like I don't understand that part. That was so bad, so bad. The Sorcerer Supreme is supposed to be the guy that like protects the universe, and this guy like folded after she picked up 3 of his disciples.
Like they said, he got the title on a technicality.
That's true, but my God,
He's only the Sorcerer Supreme because Strange got snapped out of existence.
yeah, I mean, it's still so dumb, so dumb.
Yeah. I also, when they are running away in the Illuminati universe, when they finally get to the in-between space with the Book of Vishanti, they felt like they were dilly-dallying so much. Like there was no urgency. Like they opened the door and they were like, "Wow, so beautiful." And Doctor Strange hopped down onto the platform and then he looks back up and he's like, "Come on, America, you can do it." And then she hops down and I'm like, no, just like fucking jump over there, grab the book and get the spells ready for when Wanda shows up.
Yep.
Like you ain't got time for all this.
Yep. Especially after him knowing like what happened the first time in that space.
Yeah.
With like him, fucking dying.
Right.
And now he's like in this spot and he's just like walking. And then the book gets
and he
destroyed.
like
dude.
slowly picks up the book. I'm like, no. You're going way too slow.
Yeah, and then the book gets
You need to be
fucking
like,
shot.
grab the book, flip through those pages and be like, "Haha."
Yeah. And like I kind of wanted to see what that book could do, honestly.
Me too. They keep talking about it and then we don't even just see it in
Yeah,
action.
we don't see anything.
I mean, obviously, it would have been like super stupid if they did use it because the whole point of the book is they said it gives you whatever you need to defeat your enemy. So, like,
Yeah, but
what
like,
happens? They open the book and immediately kill Wanda.
Well, no, it could have been like fucking hilarious. Like Doctor Strange could have like been thinking of something completely different on accident, and like I don't know, they could have made a joke out of it almost, or like made it like a weird to us seemingly useless thing, and then Doctor Strange uses it at one point to like win.
I guess I don't know.
But yeah, they never used it.
They definitely
so.
could have. They could have used it some way though.
I agree. I mean, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I did really like when he was controlling his dead body, and then the whole like all of those like demon spirits are like, hey, you're not allowed to possess a dead body, and then he just like starts grabbing them and then
yeah, like sucking him in almost. I don't know.
Yeah. I just imagine like trying to talk to someone who hasn't seen this movie and being like, yeah, there's a scene in this movie where a zombie wizard uses cursed spirits as wings.
Yeah.
Like, what the actual fuck?
As wings and like as a protection shield and all that stuff. I mean, that was probably one of the best scenes though, in my opinion, honestly.
It was badass for sure.
Yeah. Like they were like, these are the souls of the damned. And then it was like, if you do this, eternal suffering for dream walking in a dead body. And then like he takes him over and he goes to Wanda and she's like trying to kill him. He's like, this time it's going to take more than killing me to kill me.
It was ridiculous.
And like every time he was talking the whole time, like, you know, half of his jaw was like fucking missing, or his cheek.
Oh my God.
So you could see all his teeth. It was pretty cool. It was a solid scene.
Yeah.
If you want to watch the movie, I would watch it just for that scene because it is just like that good. But I would skip out on the kids scenes. Those are just
yeah. And whenever you see the kids, fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, just hit the 10-second skip button a few times. Or if you want to watch them being like how bad of an act, I don't know. Like I can't blame it on their acting, but I low-key want to. But
yeah, I don't know how much of it is them just being children who don't know how to act versus like obviously the writing wasn't that good either.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you think those kids got paid for that though? You know, like
I don't know, man.
Probably enough.
And I'm sure they're gonna pop up again in the future because frickin', I mean, I hope they don't, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do because those are the same kids that were in WandaVision, the TV series.
Oh, no way, really?
I will say they were less annoying in the TV show.
Okay, well that's the perk.
We're not nearly as bad. So I don't think it's the actor's fault.
Okay.
I think they can act if given good writing.
If given good writing. What did you think about the third eye?
Okay, so when they go to the incursion universe and there's the like evil Doctor Strange there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let me borrow the Darkhold. And he was like, you don't want to do that. It has serious consequences. And then he's like talking like, no, it'll fuck you up real bad. And then at the end of the movie, they like leave it on a cliffhanger and they're like, you're like, oh, I guess Doctor Strange is fine. And then he's walking down the street and he like cries out in pain and the third eye opens on his head and he's like, ah, and you're like, oh shit, I guess there actually is consequences and something bad's going to happen. And then literally 10 seconds later in the post-credit scene, he's just like acting like it's not a big deal. He's like, yeah, I got a third eye now, whatever.
So
I'm like, way to completely ruin it and make it seem like it's not a big deal at all.
Is it not a big deal? Like, I don't know. Is the third eye gonna help
him
now?
Not.
Does he like switch it around, like turn it on its head kind of thing?
I don't fucking know, man. But I feel like because he's just like casually using the third eye and he's just like, yeah, I'm ready for whatever. And it's like, then what were the actual consequences of, because he did some bad shit. He literally like possessed a dead body.
Person, yeah. I mean, granted, it was himself.
But still.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think there are going to be repercussions for that? I mean, I guess
I feel like there should be, but I don't think there actually will be.
But like, if there will be, what do you think that could be? Like, I don't know. Maybe the third eye is punishment enough, so he walks around with a third eyeball. But like, what is the third eyeball?
Well, but it's not even like it's permanently on him because he can like make it appear and disappear at will.
Oh wait, he can? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because remember the lady shows up. The character's name is Clea, but in the post-credit thing, she's like, "Oh, you've caused an incursion," and like when you see him, he's just like normal Doctor Strange, the two eyes, and then she's like, "Are you ready?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm ready," and then the third eye opens.
LOL, I didn't see that part. Okay. Interesting. So I guess, but like, what does the third eye do?
I don't know.
Isn't there like a Buddhist thing about like three eyes where it's like
but
it's a good thing?
I don't think that's like a bad thing. Yeah, like opening your third eye is like seeing like the reality beyond reality kind of a thing.
Yeah, which would make sense kind of for Doctor Strange.
But like that's not a consequence. That's like, cool, I did all this bad stuff and I got rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Because now I get an extra superpower. Just thought it's kind of
whack.
lame.
No, I'm
that
with
they
you.
like make it seem like a bad thing and then immediately in the post-credit scene, they're like, nah, it's not a bad thing.
Okay, so I just Googled it and it says it represents the wisdom of the sorcerer Agamotto and his fellow Vishanti, allowing strange to see his enemies as true intentions and break magical illusions. Doctor Strange's third eye is originally a sign of a higher level of consciousness, and it can only be used by those whose souls are devoid of corruption, which doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, because the Darkhold is supposed to cause corruption. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. They might write their way out of this, but it's pretty messy right now.
A little bit, yeah. So in fact, it in contrast to the theory of the eye is a dark mark. It is pure light words off evil in the comics. So yeah, so they're going completely against what the comics third eye is here. Interesting. Well, TBD, I guess, on that.
And then second thing at the end that I had a problem with is, so we learn in the movie that each universe has its own Darkhold. So even though the one in our universe got destroyed, there was like several other Darkholds because they said so the Book of Ashanti, there's only one because it exists in the space between universes. So there's only one of those books, but then the Darkhold exists in every universe. And since we know that the Darkhold is a copy that was created based off of that fortress, then what doesn't make sense to me is how come when Wanda destroys the tower, she somehow destroys every Darkhold across the multiverse. I feel like
true. He was like, oh, I guess
every universe has a Darkhold, then I feel like every universe also has a like evil fortress thing.
Yeah, unless like they're all linked, maybe.
That doesn't make any sense. And they never said that. If they had said that, then I'd be like, fine, whatever. But they never said that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them an excuse based off of something that I came up with.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how they got around that. That's tough. No excuses.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I had. I
think that's all I have too. And like, you know, the extras we also kind of basically talked about already. Yeah. I mean, that's it. Yeah.
I think, yeah, like I said in the beginning, and like I've been saying, like most of my negatives in this movie are just like, why the fuck is this like this? And like, this doesn't make any sense. But if you can ignore all of the doesn't make sense stuff, then I think it's a really fun movie because there are a lot of cool visuals. The like horror aspect is exciting. Like there's a lot of good stuff in here. I just, for some reason, I feel like I say whoever, but I even said it earlier. Michael Waldron, who wrote this movie, I feel like he just didn't think everything through all the way.
Yeah.
So calling you out, Michael.
Damn, you better send him this the link afterwards. All right. Well.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on to trivia.
Let's do it.
Got some good facts for us today. Our first one is that Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Wanda, flew to London to work on this film just 2 days after she finished filming WandaVision.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
she
fucking...
like finished up the show and immediately started doing this movie.
That's intense. Holy smokes. How do you learn those lines in that amount of time?
She probably like
impressive.
Got the script during filming the show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fucking
impressive.
Actually
that just reminds me. I know we're already in trivia, but I'm going to go back for one more thing that I thought was kind of weird. It wasn't a huge deal, but I feel like Wanda's accent kind of like went in and out throughout the movie. Like sometimes she was just like normal American Wanda, and then sometimes she was doing like the weird Sokovian accent thing, and it was something else that I noticed.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, back to trivia.
Back to the trivias.
Benedict Cumberbatch actually grew out Doctor Strange's goatee for this film, whereas in his previous appearances, he simply put on a fake one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I can like see it. Interesting. Yeah, you can tell the beard looks way different from like the first Doctor Strange to this one. Very cool. Okay.
This film was banned in Saudi Arabia due to America Chavez's parents being lesbians.
No shot, of course. Fucking idiots, dude. Can't help the world sometimes.
Rachel McAdams' jewelry in the wedding scene is real and very valuable. There were actually guards looking after the jewelry, and everything was very closely monitored during filming.
Wait, what jewelry?
So Rachel McAdams plays what's her name? Christine Palmer, the like love interest person. And in the beginning, when she's getting married, she has like really expensive looking like jewelry on, and it wasn't like prop jewelry, it was like real expensive ass jewelry.
Oh shit. Okay.
And
Like her earrings, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She didn't have a necklace on.
And well, maybe she had like a bracelet or something too. I don't know. Or it could have just been the earrings. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
something expensive.
but she has some expensive shit. And during the commentary on the film, the filmmaker said that there was someone on set who was literally handcuffed to a briefcase.
What?
Yeah.
For her jewelry?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? That's insane.
So,
wow.
I'm sure it was expensive as a motherfucker.
Holy smokes.
When Doctor Strange meets Reed Richards, he says, "The Fantastic Four, didn't you guys chart in the 60s?"
Oh,
there was actually a group called the Fantastic Four that had a number 6 R&B hit in 1967 called "The Whole World Is a Stage."
Oh, hell yeah.
This is also a callback to the first Doctor Strange movie, where we see that Doctor Strange answers music trivia questions in the operating room.
He answers music trivia questions?
Yeah, so in the first movie, they show a whole scene of like he'll be like in the middle of surgery, and the other people that are working with him will just like play a random song, and he will name the song, the artist, and the year it came out.
Oh, wow.
Like he's just like a huge music fan.
Wait.
And so him remembering the Fantastic Four as a musical group makes sense for his character.
That's cool. We like that. That's a good one.
Elizabeth Olsen's eyes were scanned to create the eyeball of Gargantos, the giant tentacle monster, which was done to foreshadow the fact that Wanda was actually the one controlling it.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's a good tie back.
Yeah. And in one of the final scenes where the Scarlet Witch confronts Wanda's family, they are watching Snow White. But because they are in a different universe, the producers of the film worked with Disney animators to recreate an alternate version of Snow White, whose clothes are different colors from the ones in our world.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool.
And that's it.
That was good. I like those.
Yeah.
I think the briefcase one was winner.
Yeah, that's wild.
Man, hire me for that job, bro. I won't go anywhere.
You just stand there holding jewelry.
Yeah. Get paid like a lot, probably, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But very
not
cool.
as much as that jewelry's worth.
Yeah, no, definitely not. That's fair, but I don't care. I'm not going to wear it. Like, if you do steal it, where are you going to sell it? The black market?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't even know how that
Have
works.
I ever told you that some dude tried to sell me a necklace one time at a gas station?
For how much?
I don't even remember. It was a long time ago, but I was literally just like getting gas, and this guy walks up to me and he hands me this like little like box that has a necklace in it, and he's like, "Bro, you want this necklace? It's like super expensive." And I think it had a price tag on it that was like a high price tag, and he was like, "I'll give it to you for like $15 or something like that." And he was like, "You can inspect it. It's like it's 100% real." And I was like, "Bro, I don't want your stupid necklace. Like, get the fuck out of my face."
Yeah, what the fuck? No sir, thank you, goodbye.
I was like, I'm not trying to be part of this right now.
Not today, Satan. That's funny. That's never happened to me.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Pretty wild.
All right, well, we're done with trivia now, so it is time to get wrecked.
Damn, get wrecked.
You got any recommendations for our audience today, Luca?
I don't. I can think of something.
All right, I'll go first. You think of something.
Okay.
My rec for today is going to be Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey.
I think for anyone that hasn't tried it, you should give it a go. If I'm sure you can find someone in your friend group who's interested, and try to find someone who's played it before, because it'll be easier than like if you're a whole group of people that's never played it before. It might be a little more difficult, although not impossible. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth a try. Pretty fun game to play.
I agree.
And yeah, it's kind of in right now. I know, like, especially because of season 2 of Stranger Things, they talked about Dungeons and Dragons. Honestly, not even, or hold on, what season are we in? Season 3, I think, was the most. Are we even in season 4? I don't know what fucking season we're in, but throughout all of Stranger Things, they talk about Dungeons and Dragons a lot, and I feel like ever since the first season came out, people have started to play it more. But yeah, if you haven't tried it out, give it a shot because it's super entertaining.
I mean, I agree with that. I literally played it maybe 3 weeks ago. And yeah, I did some out of the box thinking. I think you'd be proud of me how I handled some of the situations. Nice.
Well, we've still got your character lined up for you to join our game.
I know you guys do it every Friday, right?
Yeah, although we haven't played in a couple weeks. People have been busy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'll play with you guys at one point.
Yeah.
So I recommend. Well, I wanted to do something because like Thanksgiving is coming up and whatnot. Like, you know, have a good time with your family, play games, and
I recommend turkey.
Yeah, right. But no, like recent experience is if you've never tried on a VR headset and been in like that kind of a world, and you have like this thought of what a VR headset is, but you've never tried it, I highly recommend you try it. It is a very weird feeling. It's like really cool if you have like, you know, the hand sticks and the joystick and like good headset. Highly recommend you like
try a VR set recently.
Yeah. So like I'm on like the team. I'm on an IT team basically for my firm, and we're setting our office up to be able to, you know, bring clients into VR worlds or host meetings in VR worlds from on site or in the office. And I'm the guy that was making sure that our PCs could handle the VR headset and that everything was like set up and ready to go.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool fucking thing. Kind of made me feel weird a little bit afterwards because I had it on for so long, but while you're in there, it is incredible.
We have a VR set for the same purpose at our office. I've never used our office set though, but I have my own VR headset here at home, so I play with that sometimes.
Yeah, they're crazy. I'm just insane.
No, honestly, it's like it obviously none of it is like, I don't know. It almost feels more real when stuff isn't realistic. Like there's a couple, like they had a Jurassic World like experience that you can do, and you like stand there and there's like dinosaurs all around you, and they're like super like meant to look realistic dinosaurs, like high quality, like CGI, but it like something about the way that the VR headset works, like when stuff is meant to look more realistic, it looks more fake. But then if you're in like a cartoon world, all of a sudden everything feels like it's right the fuck in front of you, and like you could show me this like weird purple alien and I'm like, I could touch that motherfucker right now.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy. So if you haven't tried it, definitely give that a shot.
Be careful though, because it can cause some serious motion sickness if you are like doing the wrong thing. Because I also tried, they had not really a game, but like they separate things into games and what they call experiences. And an experience is just like you can move around a space, but there's not really any goal, or like there's not really like stuff for you to do. It's just like someone created a VR world and you get to move around in it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so I did a VR experience for the International Space Station, and you can like float around the ISS, and it's like super cool. But I swear to God, I will never do that again because it made me want to vomit. Like it was like watching yourself float through space, but then obviously you're not actually moving, so it like confuses with like, you know, your like inner ear and like balance and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like standing here, but then my eyes are seeing something that my body's not doing is very confusing to your senses. And I was nauseous for at least a couple hours even after I took the headset off. Like it was bad.
Dude, maybe do it laying down.
That sounds awful.
Really?
I have zero interest in attempting that again. If someone else wants to try it and let me know the results, feel free.
No,
but
it would probably make
that did not work out well for me.
Yeah. Everyone's different though. So, but yeah, that's my rec. That is my rec.
Well, in that case, I would like to remind everyone, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Tell your friends and family about us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CashFanPod. If you want to send us a message, you can do so on either of those platforms, or you can send an email to casualfanaticpodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them what kind of messages they can send us?
You know, I would personally reach out and let us know if you liked our podcast first and foremost. Let us know you appreciate us. If you even listen and you're like, you know, they don't want to hear from. No, we do want to hear from you. Even if it's like, hey man, great job, keep it up. Can't wait to hear your next one. We'd love to hear all of that, from movie recommendations to thoughts on things that you think would be cool to have in this podcast that we could like think about and try out. Or just, movie recommendations, or, if you didn't like our podcast, let us know that too, so we can make better for you. And of course, tell your family and friends, and tweet at us, send us emails and all that jazz. You could do everything. It's like social media.
Perfect. And links for all of that are down in the description. So we made it easy for you.
Give it a look.
This has been Casual Fanatic. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.